I said I'm alive. Oh, you read, are you my mother? Hello, hello. When you pop in, let me know you're here. Looking for my little elves. There they are. Whoop, whoop. I see someone's here. Hello, Michelle. I'm a few minutes late because I was cleaning and refilling a few of my markers I wanted to use, and that I have to use to color stuff I'm doing after tonight. So, I mean after tonight's live. Yeah, I got a busy night. Hey, Mama. Hello, hello. People are jumping on. I'm super happy about that. You are the first one tonight. You are the first one jumping on tonight. And I am selecting colors. So the other night, you need to see that cleaning process? Oh, I'm sure I can find some to clean. Jamie always sends me home with lots of ones that she finds online, and then they're dirty and they have to be cleaned. Hello, Mama. Hello, everyone. So I decided to try us a little bit earlier tonight, and the reason is because it's been freezing up and filling. Yes, I can do that. The TV, the video has been freezing up on people at night at 9:30, so I thought we would try a little bit earlier and see if that helps at all. So you guys let me know if it freezes tonight. I'm just picking markers like crazy. Also, for some reason, they've been flagging my videos and saying that I'm playing music that's against copyright, so I haven't been able to download my videos for YouTube, which has been a little bit frustrating. So if you've looked for them and you haven't seen them out there, that is why. So yeah, a little bit frustrating on that end. Okay, so this is going to be my red sequence, and we'll go over the numbers again when I get there. This isn't just an extra little holder that I had. It's from Dale's days of working on what kind of stand we wanted to use. So this one's a little wobbly because it was just a, what do you call that, babe? Prototype. But I want to use it to hold my colors for now. So this is going to be my skin tones. And then I'm going to need a few grays, which I'm going to use as well. And I think we'll do the skin tones first. So I'm going to put these in this one. And then I'm going to put the grays that I'm going to use on the white part in here. So now I have all my colors together. So I want to do this girl right here. And I want to put them, I'm hoping to put them on the same card. So this one we did in green and white the other night, all green and white. So this one we're going to do in red and white. And then I can put them on the card together. One's green, one's red. I think that'll be fun. Then we'll mix together green and red for that guy later. So I'm going to put my markers aside, and we're going to start with these. Hi, Ricky. Okay. So let me zoom in and we'll get started. So I'm going to work on her. And I don't know if you guys have seen the new release, so I'm going to touch on that real quick because there is some super cute stuff in here. Hang on, I ran over here to pull them out of my... Oh, there they are. Okay. So I wanted to pull them out of my shelving. Also, I've been working on some revamping of my entire house. Not just my craft room, but my craft room has gotten a makeover as well. Just a little one, not a big one. And so things are all in their place. So easy to find. Okay, so the other day we did this little guy. We colored him. And we made him into a card. And I have that card right here, so I'm going to show that. Okay, so we did this little guy and the previous little moose that we had in a set before. We have yet still to do this guy, but this is the card that we made. And this was in a previous video, so if you want to make it, you can go back and watch the previous videos. I used the ornaments here and the lights that weave in and out of the antlers, which is super fun. We did draw our own trees, but we could have very well used these as well. So this set kind of you can build a scene with, like we did here, which I really like. So that was the first one in the release set. And then you guys have seen Jamie crafting with this. If you've been following along, this one was Mice Holiday. You get these 3 cute little mice, one small, medium, large. This little girl reading the book. There's dies to match, and the dies include all 3 of the little mice, so that's super awesome because they're not fun to fussy cut. And then the one we're working on today is called Elfin Around. So I did her in blue on the package, which is why I want to do her a little different tonight. And I did her red and green on this package. And then we did this one the other night. So we kind of have 2 options of that. And then this little guy, if we have time, we'll do this little guy tonight too. We'll maybe do him later. But anyway, this is super cute and dies to match again, so you don't have to do the fussy cutting, which is awesome. And it says, how naughty can I be and still get what I want? I think that's so funny. Oh dear, Christmas is here. I seem to say that to myself a lot. Okay, and then the last one in the set was this playful poinsettia, and this is awesome. So you can layer it up, and it has some cool cuts in the die cuts that cut out the petals in a, like it cuts out these little petals so you can flip them up, which is really neat. And then this right here I could see using for the background on a lot. It's the star, which is really neat as well. So anyway, it says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Just think of me as being way early for next year. And if this card gets to you late, do me a favor and just think of me being early for next year. That's pretty funny. Anyway, this is the other set, and they have the matching dies. So this was the release this month. And that's why we've been coloring the ones from here. Hi, Mary. Huh? Yeah. Can you grab it? I don't know where it's at. Oh. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot the stencil. I'm pretty sure I have the stencil. Yes, right here. This is the stencil that went with this release. And it's super versatile. You can do so much with this. You can use just the snowflake and mask off the rest, and you can put them wherever you want. Or you can use the little stars or the one big snowflake or the whole thing. I mean, whatever makes you super happy. So this one is called the Snowflake Mandala, and that was with this release. So that I just wanted to run through that real quick, and now we'll get started because we were at a show, so we weren't able to do a video. I think Tyler did one, but I wasn't sure how many people saw it, so I just wanted to do a quick recap. The stencil is beautiful. Why, thank you. We designed it and we love it too. They're in the shop now and they're so easy to use. I mean, we're big on stencils. Most of the time I do the design and Dale cuts it on the laser printer for us, and then we package and ship it to Jamie, and then that's how it gets in you guys' hands.
Well, that one I redesigned for you.
So that way you know. Although, is it next month? No. In November, Dale designed the stencil for November, so I can't wait to show you guys that, but you'll have to wait. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use RV95 tonight, E11, E21, E00, and E000 on this little girl right here. So we're going to start with her skin, and we're going to put the 000 first to wet the paper. I always do that when I do skin tones. I don't usually do it typically for other stuff, but I do it for skin for sure. We're going to try to do her skin and arms at the same time because I think we can do it. It's not a lot of space, so it'll probably stay wet enough until if Dale turns that fan off for us, it won't dry up too fast. Yes, November is next month, but we have an October release that you guys haven't seen either. So it is next month. You're right, because we're already there. We're already in October.
And it's an 80s song.
It's what?
And it's an 80s song.
Yeah. Okay. So RV95 is going to be next. Oh, it is. You're right. The next release. Yeah. So your hint for the next release is there was an 80s song about it. It's not really much of a hint, is it? It's going to be very universal. You'll be able to use it for Halloween or birthdays or whatever you want. So you'll really, really like it. It's not a Halloween specific set. So that's my little bit I told you before in case Jamie pops on. I don't think she will. She's been working like crazy, and she had a whole bunch of people doing some kids at her house helping her with packaging and getting things ready to come to Texas. So I told her I'll take the live tonight. I have to color some other stuff, and I would like to color up some more of our little Elfin stuff we started. So I'm really just putting this RV95 in the shadow areas. And I'm kind of putting a little mark where her elbow would bend just to give it a little bit more realistic look. I am going to put this RV95 right here in her little cheek. And every time I pull the skin tones out for you guys, I always forget the cheek and the tongue. So I'm going to pull R12 and R11, and we're going to use that for tongue and cheek. Okay, so E11 is next. I did switch to a brand new E11 marker, so the colors are going to be a little different to me than they usually are. It will be a little bit lighter than normal because it's a newer marker. This one seems to darken up once you've had it a while. it ends up giving you a darker skin tone, which I get used to, and then I feel like something's off when I'm coloring. So if I go back in with these colors, you'll know it's because I'm feeling like it's not the right color because it's a new marker. Okay, so this is E11. And I'll show you in a minute. I still have that marker if you want to see it. I'll show you the difference because you won't believe it. It's crazy how it works. And I didn't even notice the difference in it, but Jamie did when she came to my house. This is the regular E11, the new one. Okay, so I have this little piece of paper. Let me show you what your markers can do when you've had them for like forever. And I don't have this with any of the other colors, but I do have it. So this is the one I usually use. I already had my name on it. This is the new one that I just got today. Or not, I just got it, but not today. So I did about 3 brush strokes with that one. If I do 3 with this one, look at the difference. These are exactly the same marker. They're both E11. Yet the E11 I used for a long time is this one, and the new one is this one. Look at the difference in the shading. This one is darker. It is crazy. I think I have one more that I had for a while as well. This one. And it's pretty dark too. So I had 2 E11s that are really dark, and this is the brand new one. So the skin tones will feel a little bit different to me just because of that. But yeah, this E11's the only one that does that to me, and I don't know why, but it does. I think the E21 might do it just a tad as well, but not as noticeable as the E11 is. So this is the E21. This is the one I like to use as the true skin tone color. So it gets a little bit more of this one. I mean, you guys can let me know if you've had that problem with any of your markers, but I think I've had that marker for about 15 years maybe, so it's feeling a little bit used up. Which doesn't mean I can't use the marker. I can. I just need to be fully aware that when I'm showing you guys on a live, yours isn't going to be as dark as mine because of that. So that's why I went ahead and used the right one tonight, the new one tonight, so you guys would see the true skin tone. So R11 is the one that I'm going to use for her cheeks, and then I'm going to use the R11 and the R12 for her tongue. So I'm going to go ahead and put her little cheeks in there right now. This is much lighter than what most people use, but I like it. It's my favorite. It's more subtle. And then I'm going to go ahead and do her tongue as well with this darkest shade, which is the R12. And then I'm going to go back in with the R11. Just finish her tongue. Such a tiny space, it won't make a whole lot of difference, but that's the way I do it. So this is E00, and this is the one where I'm going to finish coloring out all the areas. I usually leave a small spot within her glasses to hit with the E000 because I like their glasses to be lighter underneath their glasses, kind of to resemble like a reflection. So look at her, so super cute. I really like these little planner sets that we do. They're so much fun, and they're such a perfect size because you can use them in a scrapbook or on an index card or on a regular card. There's just so many uses for it, so I really love them. This is the E000, and I'm just going to finish her glasses with that one. Now, I was a little heavy-handed with this new marker because it takes me a while to get used to the feel of a new marker. You would think they all feel the same, but they don't. The brush nib is newer or a little more wet, and so ink goes a little bit more. So I'm going to use this Colorless Blender and just push some of these ink spots right back into her skin tone area. I mean, for her hair, it probably doesn't matter that much because when we color the hair, it'll be fine. And you don't want to put too much Colorless Blender because it will, if it's too wet, it'll suck the color back out, and then you'll have a bigger spot than you already had. So you have to be light-handed and very gentle, and you have to go back each time it dries and move it if it didn't move correctly the first time. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Cam. Okay, so this cute little stinking girl, I'm going to go over her cheeks one more time with the E11 because I want her to look really excited with her little pink cheeks. I'm going to do them a little bit more. And then I'm going to blend them out with the E00 again. I just want them to be slightly darker than they were, which is why I like working with the E11 so much versus the 20, because I like how it is so subtle. Hi, Melanie. So see, but it just blends in so well. I can tell it needs to be a little bit blended better right there. So we're going to go back in the E11, the E00 one more time and just kind of make sure this gets smoothed out a little bit. All right, there we go. Let's see how that looks. So much better. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So that's her skin tone now. Hi, Renska. So you guys who are just popping in, these are the colors that we used. Kind of the typical RV95, E11, E21, E00, and E000. And then I used R12 and R11 for the tongue and R11 for the cheeks. So those are the ones that I used for that one. And now, because I have a light color, I like to do the white color first and then the darker color. So I'm going to take my colors and put them in here. So this is going to be our next sequence. We're going to have C3, C1, C0, 00, and the Colorless Blender. So at this point I have to decide, like what color I want everything to be. So we're doing her red and white because we did this one green and white. I want to do this one red and white. So I'm going to take my C00 and I'm going to touch the areas that I want to be white. So I want this band to be white. And you probably won't be able to see this as much on the video, but I can see it here when I'm doing this, and I want to be able to see them really well. So every other part on her leggings is going to be white. Her little shoes and her dress are going to be red. This is the collar of her, I'm going to make this the collar of her dress, so it'll be red. And then the bell will do a different color. And then I'm going to make this part right here red as well. Now on the present, normally you see like a red present with white, you know, whatever, but we're going to do the opposite. So the present is actually going to be white, and then the bow area is going to be red. So I like to mark it with this because once you get started, sometimes if you haven't colored the image before, you can get confused about what you're coloring, and then you end up coloring something red that you wanted white, or white that you wanted red, or whatever. So I just marked it all up for myself so I know what I want to do. And then we're going to go in with C3. More is going to be red than white. This one I think was a fair even split between green and white, but this one's going to be a little more red than white. And I don't know about her hair yet. We're going to wing that when we get there. This is C3. So I want to do her belt area. So just a little bit on the sides to try to accent her waist. I'm going to do very tiny areas because that's very small. And remember, kind of like the candy canes I talked about last week, is we like to have a little bit of the dark on both sides because it shows the roundness. See, I almost did it. I almost put this color in the wrong one. That's what happens when I do this stripe type stuff. I sometimes touch the wrong thing, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And since all these spaces are small, I'm going to go ahead and do them all at the same time. I want to kind of show the fact that this box is square. So it just takes a little practice to get those little lines, but if you guys color with me, you'll get there. And these little horns, we're going to make them more of a light brown than white, so I'm not going to do those at this time. We'll do those in a little bit. So now we're on C1, and we're just going to extend out a little bit further than where we put the last color. It will start like making it appear to be much lighter, and then we'll get that white feeling out of the color. So just like we did over here, even though we put all that gray in, it really appears to be white. So we're just repeating that process that we did last week. Now I'm softening the edges where the gray was. So we don't want a harsh line, we just want to soften those edges up a little bit. And now we're going to do the present edges. Just kind of wash that color out just a little bit. So I know we're coloring Christmas image, but has anybody started their Christmas cards? I always have leftovers from the year before. Like, I make so many that I'm usually making the next year's when everybody's making their current year. At some point I'll catch up, and then I won't I won't have any in stash again, but it helps when I need to skip a year of making them. See, yes, I'm finished. I figured, Rinska, that doesn't surprise me. Okay, this is C0. So again, just extending out a little bit further. This is going to be really hard in these tiny areas, so may not touch them much with this one. You're usually pretty on that. I remember that. You're usually on time with your Christmas cards. Christmas card making. And it's only Halloween. So now that I asked the Christmas question, what about Halloween? Did anybody watch the Hocus Pocus 2 yet? This is C00. So I'm just extending, leaving a small white area for my Colorless Blender, which I'm going to use last to make that shiny part appear. I liked it. I liked the Hocus Pocus number 2. I liked that they didn't try to repeat the exact same thing they did before. But I won't talk too much about it because I haven't heard you guys respond yet on whether you saw it. I don't want to give anything away. Oh, you liked it, Michelle? I liked it too. I thought it was really good. So those of you who have not watched it, are you not a Hocus Pocus fan, or you just haven't had time? This is the Colorless Blender. And we're going to do that little bit of back and forth right here where we kind of want that highlight to be. So this one's going to be down the middle and just a teensy bit up there. And this one's the same thing. There we go. No time. Not a fan. Fair enough. We got a few of everybody in there. My daughter loves the Hocus Pocus movie, so we had a little Hocus Pocus get together at her house. I missed the present. Hold on, let me do the present. I got to yakking and I forgot. There we go. Hi, Melissa. Oh no, your husband's phone didn't want to work? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to read that message. See if the system will let me read that. Tried to watch tonight, but your husband's phone went. Oh, that's a bummer. I love this stamp set too, Melissa. It's so much fun and so quick to color. I just love it. Okay, so we did most of our white spots. Before we move in to the red, because I don't know how you guys feel about it, but red to me can be the toughest for you, not to color with, but if you get it outside the lines, or you color it when something else is wet, it could pull the red into it, or even touching into the wrong section. Red is hard to push back in the lines. So I like to give myself a little time before I get into the red, and I like to do the red last. So we need to look at doing the antlers, the little bell, and then her hair, and then we'll go back to the red. So I know we already picked the red color and we talked about it, but I want to do her hair and stuff first. So I think it would be super cute if we did more of a light brown hair with some very pale pink tinge on the ends of it. I think it'll pull in the red and look really good. So that's what we're going to try. So I'm going to do dirty blonde with red highlights. Hopefully it's going to come out good. Hopefully. We'll see. So I am going to test the colors because I want to use this E55, 53, and 51, but I think I might need a color slightly darker than E55, but I don't want it to go too dark. I do like those two E51. And then that's going to look more, I need a little bit browner color in there. So I think, or yellow. So let's pick a brown and a yellow. I think that'll help. So let's try to mix in E33, which is pretty dark. And Y11 will hit at the end to give us a little bit of a blonde. Maybe we won't use Y11, maybe we'll use the pink. So let's see what I think. E83 or 81? 81 I think will be better. I know I'm just throwing these colors out there. Hang with me. I'll show you the combo in order in a minute. As soon as I figure it out. So this is how I do it. First I'm just putting in all the colors to see what I think. Now 34 might be a better one because I can use it as my darkest shade. They're about the same. 33 and 31. Let's see if how 35 looks. Maybe I'll switch to that. Ooh, that might be good. Okay, so I want to do some shadow areas with this E35. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I want to come in with my E55. It's just a little bit lighter, but when I put it over top, it blends really well. And then I'm not going to use the 33. I'm going to use the 53, which I think, again, goes really well together. And then I'm going to use the 51 to highlight in the top of her hair. And I'm going to use the E81 to highlight the bottom of her hair. Almost looks like a Neapolitan. That's what it makes me think of. Does that mean I want ice cream? So these are the colors that we're going to use. We're going to do some hair like this, and we're going to add some pink at the bottom. I think it'll look really cute. And then when we come in with our reds, it'll really, I hope it'll blend well. We'll see. Let's go. Let's try something new. I love to try new stuff. So here's E35. We're going to start that by doing all the shadow areas on her hair. So I'm going to put a very thin line right behind where that headband is. Funny, ice cream. It did make me think of ice cream. And then a little bit under here and behind that headband again. And then I'm going to go to under her ear. And in between here, these are little tufts of hair she has down here. And the underside I'm going to make pretty dark. So I'm going to do the underside of this one where those two overlap. Really small, fine areas. So make sure you hold your marker upright so you get really fine lines. This right here. Then right here. I'm going to do a little bit up from the bottom of these little tufts of hair. A little bit on this side. The pink will be along the bottom of her hair, not along the top of her hair. So down here and all along here is where I'm going to put the pink. So it's not a lot, it's just going to be a teeny bit. Hey, what are we coloring tonight? We are coloring the Elfin Around elf. So this is the set. It's called Elfin Around. We colored this one last week. We're coloring this one tonight and possibly that one or this one tonight. All right, we'll see how we do on time. So we're going to keep rolling along. Oh, Mom, that's crazy. I'd be coming home. But you have to bring Bev with you because that wouldn't be very nice. Okay, so we're going to extend out with this shade. Not going to put a whole lot. Just doing a few little brush strokes there. I'm not going to put any over here because I really want to save that for the pink. Maybe I will put a few little pink over here, but not much. So I'm just going to skip doing anything down here because I don't really want to put that in just yet. So just a little bit of brown right now. Oh, thanks. That's sweet. I love coloring with you guys. I do. And Jamie was so busy, I was like, I think I'm going to hijack your live tonight. Today. This is E53. So this one is the third one in our color combination. So I usually use this one a little bit more liberally than the other colors, because it's the color that I really want this to appear to be. It still looks like I'm not going to put pink up here, but I promise I am. I do get distracted sometimes and forget to put in the pink. I'm just softening those edges real quick because when I put the pink in, I don't want it to look like a big obnoxious change there. I think I'm going to come out a little bit more in the direction of the hair rather than around, so that it kind of works together better. Okay, so I'm going to go backwards one step to E55 because I kind of just put a line along there, and now I sort of want that to look more like hair, so I'm going to come and put these little tiny brush strokes to kind of signify the hair. I think that will help. Okay, so E51 is where I'm going to blend these colors together. She's going to have a little bit more smooth hair, but, you know, not really look strands. Like, we may add some later to really make that come to life. I'm not going to put any around the bottom because that's where I want to put the pink. Sometimes I like to do the hair a little bit on this smooth, and then at the end I'll go in and add strands of hair. This is where we're going to put the R81. It's going to just blend it right into the 51. So it's not going to be real obvious. It's just going to be very, very subtle, which is exactly what I was going for. A little bit of subtle in there. Like the tips of her hair is just... I'm going to touch here because I want it to appear to have just a little bit of pink, but not too much. So see how it looks darker? This is kind of called underpainting, where I put the brown first and then the pink over top of it. I'm going to touch the bottoms again now that they've dried just a little to make them appear just a tad bit darker, just on the tips of each one. And I'll hold this up close so you guys can see it in just a minute. It's not going to look quite as obvious that it's pink, but once we put the red, I think, in her outfit, I think it's really going to stand out. So let me show you what we got. See, we have just a little bit of subtle pink in there. You changed your name to Sandy so I can share markers. That's funny. Okay, none of these except for E51 are the colors I like to do the little antlers. So I usually use the same colors but for antlers, but I think I'm going to change it up a little bit tonight. So I usually start with 43, but I want them to be just a little bit darker tonight than they usually are. So I'm going to actually start with 44. And then I'm going to go to 42. and then 51, and then I might tone it down with 41, but we'll see. So generally I'm going to be using these three, 44, 42, 51, and then I might use this one to tone down a little bit. So you'll see what I mean when we get into that. But let's do the little antlers first. So E44, which is this part right here. And we're just going to touch some of the overlapping areas and the part that's close to her headband. Now remember, I said her headband was going to be red. This is why I don't like to do the red first, because if I touch the red with this, then it's really going to be messed up. Oh, thanks. They're purple sparkle. They're really great for Halloween, but I got to go get them done because they're growing. And yesterday when I was cleaning, I broke this one, so I've been nursing it. See, it's my real nail underneath. So I've been nursing it not to fall off before Jamie gets here, because we're going to go get our nails done together. So I've been trying to nurse it. But yeah, the lady that does my nails, I really like her. She's super sweet, and she's really good. She always suggests good colors, and she always does what I like. So I'm super happy with her. So this is just doing some of the very small accent areas because I want a little bit of that brownish color in. And then I'm going to just put like very, very light little bitty lines in there because I want there to be some lines inside the antlers that sort of represent, you know, wood and antlers. Glue it. I don't want to glue it because when I glue it, then it looks all rough and sticky and you lose the shiny, and then it's harder for them to get it off when I get there, and I only have to wait. I only have to make, I've been nursing this for 3 days, and I only have to wait 2 more. So I'm praying I can do it. It was really hard while I was, while I've been cleaning the house and preparing for Jamie, but okay, E42. This is where we're going to start blending out those harsh lines just to start trying to get a smooth color into these little antlers. I want them to look a little textured, which is why I chose to put those lines in there. And because this is a jump, I didn't use 43, I used 42. I have to kind of touch those areas a little bit more to lighten them and blend them. So that's why it looks like I keep going over and over and over it, but that's the reason why. The reindeer makes you smile. He's cute. Yeah, he's really cute. We gave you 2 versions of reindeer this time. The other set has this one in it. And he makes me smile too. Okay, so next one is E51, and remember E51 changes the colors that tone just a little bit. So if we have to tone it down, we're going to go back in with the E41. And I think we will because it starts looking more like skin tone, and I like it better the other way. So I'm just adding some of this one. That was pretty simple. He's super cute. I'm partial to the other one only because I drew it, but I do like this one too. He's fun. But when the new release comes out, I try to color every single thing in the new release at least once for you guys. And then later we'll go back and do them again if you didn't have it at the time, or if you want to see it in a different color or different design or whatever, we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go back in one more time with this E44 just around the top here because that's where it's attached to the little hat. And then I'll soften it just a teeny bit with the E42. We kind of washed it out when we did the other colors, so I wanted to get just a little bit more depth in there. So I just went back in with the darkest shade. And then that way we have a little bit more depth close to her head compared to further away. And I'll pick that up and show you a little bit closer so you can see. See how we gave it just a little bit more depth? That's what I was going for. Okay, so now we have one more step before we move into the reds that I have chosen. And that is that we need to do the little bell because I want it to be more of a gold. Isn't coloring a snowman hard since it's a white body? I hope that makes sense. Well, I think for if you're not real experienced, yes, that can happen. But you would do him the same idea that we did with this white. So far, this is the paper, the Sweet Sentiment paper white. It's not really technically white. All these other parts that look gray, that's the white. That's how you give definition. You use the light grays. So you can use the W's or the C's or the T's or the N's. I use the C's because C's are cool and it's usually winter time around this time, so I would use the C's. I would use C's or very, very light B's, like almost in the quadruple zero in order to do a snowman. So this girl, all her white areas were done with the same C0, so you can see how it makes it pop. None of it was left the color of the paper. So there is kind of a technique to it. I am going to use Y26 and YR23 for the bell. So 26 is going to be darker. So I'm just going to go around most of the outside except for the top part. And now I'm going to take, I think this one might be too dark, this YR23. But sometimes it helps really to pull it in a gold appearance. Teach me more, please. We don't have any snowmen right now. But you could go back and look at that video or the beginning of this video, or we could do him. And then you would get, but we don't have a snowman stamp. I do. I mean, I'm sure I could find a snowman stamp. If you really need a snowman stamp, I can throw a snowman in at some point. Probably not tonight because I'm not prepared for it, but only because I don't know if I have a snowman stamp. But I'm pretty sure I have a digital one, and in that case I'd have to print it out, but I could certainly do that. YR31. I'll put it on my list of requests. YR31 is the last one that I'm going to put on the little bell to make it look gold. And then I'm going to go in with my Colorless Blender. Notice when I'm doing these Christmas images, I'm using that Colorless Blender a lot for mixing and highlighting. And this is the 0. I'm just going to go in and put a little bit of highlight on that so the bell looks like it has a bit of a highlight. Anytime I touch my Colorless Blender on another color, I always wipe it on a regular paper before I close it up. So the last that we have left on this is going to be my red colors, which we've already chosen. Dun, 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 dun. So, Amy, my little hint for you would be to take any snowman that you have and color it in C3, C1, and C00, and use the Colorless Blender for highlight, and then color it in all of the gray tones, same numbers, 3, 1, 0, 0. If it doesn't have a 0, 0, just use the 0. But try it in the T's, the N's, the C's, the W's, and then the really, the quadruple zeros in the B's. And see which one you like better, because really it just depends on it just depends on your preference of color. I would probably do them in the C's or the B's. And we can do that sometime. I'll make a note of it for my notes and notes. Okay, so these are the colors I chose. R89, R46 because it's my favorite, R35 to transition to R43 because sometimes that's a little bit of a tough transition, and then to R32. So we're going to use these colors for all of our reds, So I'm going to start with R89. Since we have a lot of red on her, I'm not going to do it all at one time. I'll probably do all the little accent areas, and then I'll come back and do her dress last. So we got to put some, you know, little pleat areas and fold areas and stuff in her skirt. So I don't want to do that at the same time because it takes a little bit more technique to do it. So let's start with her up here on her headband. So I want the darkest of color to be closest to her ear. And then I want to do around the antler area here. And then I'm just going to do this side right here that you can't really see that well. I'm going to leave it just like that. Can your hubby make a stencil that makes clouds, hills, or mountains, or grass areas? You asked the last time you were live. The last time I was on, yes, I did. And let me write that down because, you know, we've been playing around with some ideas for that. We don't have anything concrete yet, but this would help. So we've been talking about doing scenic type layered stencils, but we haven't gotten there yet. So it's all just in discussions. And grass. It is not for me, Amy. Stencils, clouds, hills, mountains, and grass. Did I get it all, Cheryl? I did write it down because Jamie's coming and we'll talk about it. I don't think it's hard to do cards in bulk. So I've done my entire Christmas cards in with Copic coloring. I've done 150 wedding invitations that were Copic colored. So basically it's just the commitment on whether you want to do it and how much time you want to put into it. For me, I love to color all the time, every day, whenever I can. And when I do cards, big orders of cards, like for a holiday or for a wedding or something like that, I'll do them. I'll start putting some of my markers in portable containers, like I use the Pear Blossom Press zip bags. And what I do is I put the marker sequence that I'm working on. So if it's skin tone, then I put all the skin tone, all the variations of skin tone that I would want to do on those images. And then I will take it with me. I'll take it on a clipboard that opens up and you can put the images in the inside, and I'll take the images and the clipboard when I go to like the doctor's office, or I have to take my car into the shop, or I used to take it when my kids went to gymnastics lessons or games, or whenever I had to sit around and wait, I would take my markers with me. So you guys know I've been coloring for a long time. If my kids are 24 and 28, 29, something like that. And I did it when they were in school, so you need to get back to cards. Yeah. So if you want to watch the lives, we do, we color images. Like we'll color this one, then we'll end up coloring them all. And then I always make cards out of them. So in the end, you always get to see the image colored and then a card made out of it. So the last one we did was this little moose, and this was the card we did. We did the background and the image with Copics. It would make backgrounds go easier for us so people can't come up with how to do it on our own. Yes. Yes, would be so cool. Yes, that's what we were, Jamie and I have been throwing around some ideas, so don't think that we haven't forgotten or that we hadn't thought about what you guys want. We know that when we sit down and just go, oh, we're going to do these trees, or we're going to do this sunset, or oh, we're going to do this dock, or this moon, or, you know, it just kind of comes to us a little bit more naturally. Thank you, Cheryl. And we know that. So our idea is to try to come up with a way that won't do it for you necessarily, but it would get you started on the steps so you can complete them and still get the effect of building the background yourself. So we are working on that and talking about that, and but we've been so busy with all the shows that just be patient. We're getting there. I promise we're not forgetting what you guys would like to see and what would help you. So this is R46. This is my favorite red color. If you ask Jamie, she'll know it's my favorite. And I like this red because it feels like the truest color of red to me, but Jamie likes the R29 instead. But that's personal preference. There's nothing wrong with either one of them. They're just the way that I like them and the way that she likes them. They're pretty close in color, so you end up with a little bit different look. But I'm just using it to come to Cleveland, Ohio. That is not on our agenda just yet. Cleveland, Ohio is not. I don't think it's on the horizon of very close. Sacramento, Ontario, Irving, Texas, and Irving, Texas again. And I think those are our last ones for this year so far. Doesn't mean something might pop up, but you never know. You never know. My hubby and I are thinking about planning a vacation. You'll never know where I might end up at that point. Although my mom is very close to Cleveland right now, so if I went to visit my mom and my Aunt Bev in Pennsylvania, I would be very close. I think we've even flown into Cleveland before. So now you can see the red starting to you start seeing it starting to come to life. Now, R35 is going to put a little bit of a pink twist on it versus the red, which I felt like we needed if we were going to do the tips of her hair in that pinkish color. So that's why I added this one in there. So this one is just going to start smoothing these out. In the smallest of areas, we may not need all of the colors, but we'll touch them there at some point. So notice how I put the center of this bow area to kind of give it some definition, and now with this one I'm doing more like the outside, and then I'll fill in the other parts with the lighter colors. Some areas I'll probably skip the fourth color and only put the fifth, but we'll see as we go on. You love the girls' glasses, they look like mine. This girl actually is supposed to be me. I can see a little resemblance of her, but she don't have purple hair right now. But my glasses are about to change because I ordered pair glasses. I'm just waiting for them to come in. Do we have someone selling our stamps in Canada? I believe that we do. Yeah, I believe that we do. I can't think of who that is, but I'm pretty sure that we have someone in Canada. I just can't remember her name. Unless she hasn't ordered in a while. I'm not sure. Jamie kind of handles the, she kind of handles those wholesale people. I'm pretty sure there's one in Canada. I'm not 100%, but I really thought there was. So this is R43. R46 and 43 are like my faves. So I went ahead and left her highlight with this one. You know, Cheryl, if you PM Jamie and ask her if we have someone in Canada, or PM me tomorrow and follow up, I'll ask Jamie if we have someone in Canada, and I can confirm for you if we do or we don't. But we do ship to Canada. It's just a little bit more pricey, but not too bad. So I'm doing most of this, but I'm leaving a really light spot in there. Yes, I will. I didn't realize you were in Canada. Okay, I will check with Jamie and I will get back to you on that. Probably tomorrow. Okay, back on the R43. I am going to skip the bow area with R43 and go straight to 32. But look at how cute she looks. I love the green when I was doing it. I love the red now that I'm doing. I really like these red and green. I just like this set. I think is my deal. Now I told you I was going to use every color, so I'm just going to touch the highlighted areas with this one, and it's going to lighten them up a bit. I don't know if you could see that happen. It's a little bit hard on camera, but yes. Here, just blending that out to give a lighter. So you know why some of these colors do this, right? I bet you do if you've watched us before. This marker, the lower the number, the more alcohol is in the solution with the pigment, and it causes the more alcohol you have in there, the less pigment, the more it moves around the color that you have. I know I get stuff from Jerry's. I was hoping to save me buy more stamps. Oh yeah, I understand. I understand completely. I will definitely ask her and see if we have anyone. If not, you could open a shop and then you could do it for us. You know I'm from Canada. Where's everybody from? Now you know that Cheryl's from Canada. Where's everyone else from? You guys know I'm in Texas. Now remember, don't go outside the lines with your pinks and reds because it's really hard to push that back in. So I don't use the Colorless Blender too often. Yes, Michelle Milligan's in California. I don't use the Colorless Blender very often, and if I do, it's very lightly on red because it starts pushing the ink and sometimes pushes it right outside the lines, and then I have twice as much hard time trying to get them back in. Look at that. Super cute. So this one worked out really good with the highlight. This one kind of washed it out a little. So the way you fix that is I'm going to go back to that R46 Melanie. Look, Kathy's in Missouri and Washington. We got people from all over the place in here. So you just go back in with not your darkest color, but your second to your darkest color and deepen up that area. Didn't say. My mama is from Texas, but she is in Pennsylvania tonight. All right, so now I want to do her little boots and then we'll do her dress. So I'm going to start with her boots. Her little elf booties. I'm going to put little marks on the sides here to indicate that it's, you know, that's the part that's bending. I'm going to put a small line along the top. And on this one, I'm going to go along the back, down here, and on the underside. There we go. Wait, let me go back and read that message. We were chatting one night on here about the Light, and there was some certain store that you don't have in Canada. Oh. And it's really cold in Pennsylvania? Yeah, for sure. I love my lights. I believe I posted which one I use in the group once before. I love it, but it's pricey. But it's been so worth it. My husband won his, and then I kept stealing it, so it made me get my own. The one that sits on the floor was too pricey for me, so I got the one that attaches to your desk, but it doesn't take up much space, so I'm super happy with it. I also have a ring light over my camera to help with lighting for you guys so you can see a little better. I have quite a bit of light. I have 3 lights actually shining around me while I'm doing my coloring videos. I have the one attached to my desk, the one attached to the camera, and then I have one off to the side. And I don't turn any, all 3 of them are the light, the white light. And I don't turn on the light that's overhead, the chandelier light that we have in here, because I'm technically in the dining room, is my craft room. Oh yes, I figured that, Michelle. I figured that out. So yeah, I use a lot of lights, but I don't ever use the lights that are in the actual room. And it was really hard when I went to my son's, because I was there for a show in Arizona, so I didn't bring my portable light that I have that just attaches to my box and I can color with it. So I struggled with lighting out there a lot. But I still colored stuff. It didn't stop me. This is the middle color, so I'm going around everything with this color. I like that you guys are getting to know each other on the lives. I bet you recognize your names when each other's names when you see them on Facebook. It's awesome. Making new friends. R43. I mean, you guys know that's how Jamie and I originally met. Watching videos and chit-chatting, and that's how it all came to be. And look at where we are now. Lots and lots of new friends. Okay, R32, last color. Even though it says peach, doesn't really look peach, but this is where it's going to leave the highlight on the top of her shoe and just a little bit here. So I want to be careful not to touch too much of this color in there because it's really going to push the color around, and if I touch too much, I have to go back in with the dark color again. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, yes, that happens to me too. I start missing coloring when I don't have time to do it. Partners in crime, yep. Yep, and we met coloring online on Facebook. Friends for life. Okay, I'm going to come back in with my 46 and I want to darken up a few areas just because these boots are starting to look significantly lighter and I need to see the definition between the boots and the leggings. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this R46. And to blend that out, I'm going to use the R32. So I have to be careful because I don't want to undo what I just did, but I do want to soften the edges just a little bit. There we go. Better, better, better. And I put that in the wrong spot. Okay, so I'm going to show you up close just so you can really get a feel for them. You see there's some highlighted areas on there and there's some real dark depth areas. So now we're going to work on her dress. We are partners in crime. You saw that picture I took of Jamie when we were video chatting the other day and then posted it today. Okay, so doing the areas that are in shadow mostly first. You love meeting new people? I do too. I meet a lot of people on Facebook. Oh, thanks. I'm glad that you enjoy it so much. We try to teach a lot to everyone. Anyone who wants to learn, we'll teach you. Sharing is caring. I sound like a Care Bear. Are Care Bears the ones that said that? I can't remember. Yep. I thought so. I liked Care Bears. I thought they were cute. Just like gummy bears. Both cute, both good. I'm going to do the top of her dress first because I really want to focus on some folds on that skirt. And I'm a little bit nervous to do both at the same time because I think it would dry too fast and might mess up my shading. So this is the R46. This is my favorite one. You really get to know us a little bit even better when you come to retreats. We teach a lot and we chat a lot and we always have shenanigans going on. Because if you guys think we do shenanigans now, you should see us when we're together. We're some crazy people. But we have a lot of fun. This is our 35. This is, again, the third one in the combo. So I'm using it a bit more liberally. I'm liking this red. How about you guys? You guys liking this red? Super fun. I've worked very hard organizing my craft room lately for Jamie's arrival. I can't wait. So everybody that's watching me, do you have your own craft room? Quite the pair when they're together. Yes, we are. Yes, you have your own craft room. I love it. It makes me so super happy. And the funny part is my husband has a craft room too. We both have our own separate craft room in the house. So maybe I'll take some pictures so you guys can see what my craft room looks like when I'm sitting in it. I don't do a lot of videos, and I've changed up some stuff, so it looks a little bit different. Maybe I'll take some photos so you guys can see. And I don't think you guys who are watching right now generally do the ATC swaps. Do you do the ATC swaps? I don't think that you guys usually do, but I got this really cool light, hanging lights with little clippies on them that look like clothespins, and I hung them behind me where the window is, and on the clippies you're supposed to hang pictures or whatever, and what I did was I hung past ATCs. Yes, I'm always downsizing my room. You have not, but you wanted to. You just don't understand how yet. Oh, yeah. You'll get there. So the ATCs are easy. Yes, Mom, I got your ATCs. Yes. So an ATC is super simple. I mean, you can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want. Now, note, ours usually have a little bit more because that's what's expected from us, from all of you who watch. I would think that if you got one from me, you wouldn't want it to be just a few pieces of paper or whatever. So I do, I don't fully color every ATC, but I do like to do them 2 or 3 times a year. I buy more stuff, the room gets smaller. That's exactly right, Michelle. That's more of the truth. The more stamps and stuff I get, the less room I have, and I don't want more than one room. So, I mean, it's not that I don't want more than one room. I don't have enough room for more than one room of crafty stuff. So when it starts getting a little squeezy, then I downsize some of the stuff, and then I start again.
And I tell you, when you start creeping into my area.
When I start creeping into my husband's craft area, then he's like, time to sell some stuff. I have some more stuff I'm about to sell as well.
Though I have the bigger area.
You do have the bigger area, but your costumes take up a lot more space than my arts and cards. So I'm going to start off by doing, okay, so I just did around the base of her skirt. Yes, my mom does them. If she can do them, you guys can do them. They're very simple. They're not judgy. We like to have all levels, so don't feel like you have to color everything. You can do whatever you want. We have all levels of crafters that join us. But what I did was I took some of the ATCs that people made that I got from the swaps, and those are what's hanging on my string. So I'm showing off some of y'all's work. People who were in the ATC swaps this year. And I think I'll start switching them up a little bit.
I just come in here to relax.
Oh, yeah. He's usually in his own space, but when I'm live, he comes in here, sits on the chair, and relaxes, and that's why you hear him in my area. By the way, if we ever eat in here or watch TV in here, the TV faces my desk,
Michelle.
So he has to come in here to watch TV. Okay, so
That I won from a contest.
that he won from a contest that's in my craft room. Isn't he good to me? Okay, so what I'm doing is first I built up, this is almost going to look like a fairy skirt. It's so cute. So what I'm doing is building up each one of these, putting a line in it, and then I'm coming from the top and building in that as well. So this is going to look like it's a pleated skirt all the way around. Yes, Meg, he does, but he works 6 to 9 months on each costume, so he takes his time and does great detail. So yeah, it happens. It took him a couple of years too to get there. There were several disappointments, and then he just went home and worked harder and tried harder to get more advanced and do better stuff, and now he's kind of at that range where he's doing really good quality work. So he wins. Sometimes there's disappointment, and he enters a lot of contests sometimes, so. Right now he's building a costume for my daughter for Halloween. She wants to be the girl Thor. So that's the costume he's working on right now. Whenever she gets it, I'll post a couple pictures so you guys can see what it looks like. It's not done yet, but he's working on it.
Well, just like coloring, you have to keep on practicing and keep on challenging yourself, and you'll
persevere in the
Yeah.
end. Yep. Yeah, he does. So he it's called Ledoux _cosplay. He's on Instagram and then Facebook. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. She's super excited. She was like, "Will you make me a costume?" And he's like, "Uh-huh, but it depends on what quality you want, on how much it'll cost." He only makes her pay for supplies, and not even all of that. He's still generous about that, but so yeah, I can't wait till Cooper gets old enough to want to be in contests like that, because oh man, I could just see my husband making costumes for that cutie patootie. That'd be so fun. So this is R35. This is the middle one in the marker combination, so I'm using it more liberally. Hello, Cameron. It's nice to see you pop on. I'm so glad. Alright, so we're starting to get a little bit of a design, a little bit of these folds and stuff on this skirt. I wanted it to look a little fairy-ish, elfish, whatever you want to call it. And everyone else.
Just in case you want to show it, lady.
This is Dale's last costume. Are you ready? So they take a long time. He takes a long time, a lot of detail work.
And it's out of leather.
And that's all made out of leather. So he's super, super busy and working really hard and needs a lot more space in his craft room to build that versus me coloring a card. So he has the formal living area as his craft room, and I have the formal dining area. Aw, thanks, Meg. She said, awesome job, babe. Well, she didn't say babe. I said babe, but you know what I meant. This is one of my favorite ones he did. Look at this. This is one of my favorite ones. And now you know why he wins. It's a lot of work. Even the weapon, he even made the weapon. And every piece of the costume he made, every bit of it. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's all the armor he puts together. Some's made with foam, some 3D printing. I mean, it's.
And then out of that costume, what everybody asked about the scars.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that one. My favorite one he did for me was Predator. That was my favorite. He made me the Predator. That's my favorite costume. Every Halloween when we talk about dressing up, and he's like, should we dress up? And I'm like, I'll wear the Predator. I love that costume. That's my favorite one. I'm going to need him to make me another one like that. No, I want the picture of when we're in Arizona in the rocks. So even one time when I had the Predator costume, we were driving home from Arizona, and there's a rest stop that you can stop in Arizona that has all these rocks everywhere, and I was like, oh, that would look so good in the costume. That's such a great scene background for photography. And he's like, okay. So he pulls over and he's like, okay, are you gonna put the costume on? And I'm like, there were so many people at the rest stop that it was crazy. And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess. And I did. I suited up and went over there and took pictures. It was so funny. She wants to know how long it took you to make that costume.
Which one?
The one with the horns and stuff.
Well, I mean, I took time. I did it over 9 months.
He said he did that one over 9 months, Michelle. What time is it, Sugar Bear?
10:30.
It's 10:30. Okay, here we go. This is me. This is my Predator costume. Not quite as elaborate as the other ones, but these were from the early days. And the part with the orange on it, like all this part right there, he airbrushed all that on a one-piece bodysuit because I said, no belly showing. I'm not okay with that. So he built me the bodysuit. So there we go. It is still cool. I love it. I love that one. So see how it looks white, even though it's not white, and it doesn't look quite the same as the background paper because it appears more white, which is why we use the gray when we do that. Here's another one. This one I have my weapon. It's pretty cool. All right. So we started at 9. It's 10:30. I'm sorry I was yakking. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, well, he didn't make the bodysuit. He bought a white bodysuit, and then he airbrushed all the design on it. So, yeah, kind of like he didn't sew the bodysuit, but he did style the bodysuit. So, yeah. But he's learned to sew since then, so he does now. So, see how I made her skirt folds and pop out and all that good stuff. So now we have these two girls. Right? People always tell him that. I tell him, I bet you can make a lot of money working in the movie industry. That would be super cool. Okay. So it's 10:30. What time is it right now? 10:30? It's 10:30. So we took a while to do this one. We also talked a lot and I showed a lot. But if you guys want, what's tomorrow? Tuesday? Tomorrow's my regular day to come live. So tomorrow night we'll do these two. Jamie doesn't come in till Wednesday, so tomorrow night I can do these two guys. And then we'll make cards out of them later in the week. What's that? Oh. All right. Since we have a little bit of time, you guys want to see, we'll color those tomorrow, but you guys want to see I'm going to show you the craft room. Hold tight. It's going to be an earthquake. Okay, ready? Tomorrow, I think we're going to do the same time, 9 o'clock. Okay. Why? It doesn't want me to rotate my phone. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, let me zoom out. Hold on. I'm not used to doing this. Earthquake. Okay, so this is there's my other light. So I hung those shelves all by myself. Well, not all by myself. My husband stood there with the levels, so I got them right. Anyway, this is where all my craft supplies are, and then some of them are in cupboards. Oops, and my slippers. And then when you go up here, see the lights with the ATC cards? These are some of the ATC cards that I've gotten throughout this year. And then that is a picture that I just love, so I put that one up there. But see, there's some Christmas dinosaurs, the little baby moose. There's a card from Jamie. And then there's some more. Jamie's mom painted that one. Look at, there's the Flintstones. There's another picture that I really love. And then, look, someone sent that to me as a gift in an ATC. And then there's a Jamie up there in the corner. And then back here is where I keep all my ribbon and paper. It's on the windowsill. That's where all my paper is. So whenever I need a card, we need to cut my card bases, they come out. They're all filed and organized in order. This is my little decorations. I made that book. It's a scrapbook. And then over here, this is where some of the other stuff. See, I'm refilling markers, so they're on the floor. And then when you come up here, check this out. Those are all my Nuvo drops. This is some photography I've done, because I'm a photographer too. That's Gary Allen right there. That's the state capitol, and that's the harbor over here by where I live. There's my family. There's my new picture I got. And then look, this is how I have all my oxides and stamp pads hanging on the wall. There, over there. Oh, look, there's the TV. So there's the cabinet where I do all of the shipping labels and printers. There's another cabinet down there with some stuff. This is the TV that I watch you guys. See, you can see your comments in the screen. And then over there is where my brother's scan and cut is, and all my scrapbooking stuff, and Cooper's recliner chair with his Mickey and Minnie Mouse on it. And when you go up, that's my cabinet over there with the frog in front of it. Mom, do you recognize the frog? You bought that frog for me. There's me and Cooper up there on the wall. And then that cabinet right there is full of stamps. Now look at this. If I go through here, you see how the room is connected? That is Dale's craft room. So even though we have separate craft rooms, oh yeah, we also have this. I have this cabinet where usually my die cut machine sits right here, and then all the shelving that goes in that one.
The shelving's from IKEA.
This is all IKEA stuff. So when you open it up,
Your cube thing.
ribbons. It's all organized because I'm an organized person. This is my chair where I'm sitting with my stuff that Jamie's mom got me. Here's where my markers sit. They sit on top of an additional paper rolly card I got. And then I just sit them on top so I can pull them out when I need them. And then this cabinet has all my bling in it. This is how I can get to this stuff so handy when we're doing a live. It's all in different spots, so I know where it all is. This is my desk that you guys usually only see half of. That's where I was refilling markers earlier. And I got this little rolly things. There's Dale. And then this is what you guys usually see. I'm going to flip it around, but I'm looking like a doo-doo today. But there you go. So I haven't done much with myself today. I've been just working really hard on cleaning up and getting the house organized. But that's my room. That's Dale. And that's all I have for tonight. Now you've seen my room. Look, see it all behind me? You can see it. It's all handy. I just rotate the chair around and I can do everything right here in my space. So now you've seen my space. Yeah, I'm looking a little on the rough side today, but that's okay. But that's okay. So yeah. So, oh, you love my craft room? Yay, me too. But it's pretty neat how it's connected. So when he's working over there in his and I'm working over here in mine, we can still see each other and talk to each other. We're not putting any walls in between. So we spend time together, and then sometimes he comes and sits on the chair. So now you guys know where he is. Yep. So thanks, Melanie. So now we talked about all the new release. We talked about coloring these sweet little girls that we did. And then we'll color the other two tomorrow night. And you saw my craft room. So there you go. Yes, sometimes it's nice to see someone. So, you know, when we do these lives, I don't have to like fix up my hair. Look, it's purple too. I don't have to fix up my hair or do any special kind of, you know, like prep myself or whatever. I just go live and color with you guys. But keeping it real, this is what I look like when I craft at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I had Cooper here tonight, so he's upstairs asleep. Dale put him to bed earlier. So that's all I got. So it is it's the formal dining room. So the formal side of this side of the house is the formal. That's the formal living room. This is the formal dining room. But when you go into our kitchen, there's a whole dining room area in the kitchen. So that's where we have the table and chairs where you eat dinner and stuff. And then the other side of the house is one big room, and it's all like the casual living area. And that's where Dale's workspace is in the corner. And then we have TV and all that stuff, couches and everywhere for everybody to sit. So, and that's the downstairs. All the bedrooms are upstairs. That's right. I'm crafting, so it is what it is. I'm also doing laundry and cleaning the house, and you know, it's a work in progress. So.
Production area.
Okay, I'm going to run over there into Dale's room and show you guys two things. So, when he makes our stuff for us. So here we go. That's a shipping station whenever you guys buy stuff that I have. And this is the 3D printer right there. And that's a resin printer in case he wants to cut resin. And look at that's all the PLA to do the 3D printer. And then you come around the corner, that's where all the supplies are. There's cosplay, which we talked about. There's second 3D printer right there. This is the laser printer that cuts all of the stencils. So it looks like there's some stuff in there right now, but he's about to cut that. And then there's the pinball machine he won. Gaming. And then this looks like a disaster, but it's a well-worked craft room. And this is, it's in the light. This is Haley's Thor costume he's working on. So there's that. And then we'd like to play games. So there's tons of that. And then there you go. So now you've seen my craft room, Dale's craft room, and production. Look at that, all in one shot. Kind of nice, eh? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Turn the bedroom into a craft room as I can't do. Yeah, So we don't even really go upstairs. I mean, I won't lie, it's kind of funny, but we moved our mattress downstairs in front of the fireplace, and we sleep down here. So nobody ever really comes over to our house, so it doesn't really matter technically all that much, except Jamie, who doesn't care. And she has a bed, that bed that we passed in Dale's craft room. That's Jamie's bed, so I can keep crafting and she can go to bed because she goes to bed before I do. But yeah, that's the whole area that you hear us talking about and crafting in and all that kind of stuff. And then we sleep and play on the other side of the house where we watch TV and he works and we sit and entertain, and that's actually where all the inventory is right now because I don't have an inventory room, but the show's in Texas, so everything is shipped to me right now. So everything is in my living room because I don't have a place to put it in here. But I did make a shipping station because I have all this stuff. So that was kind of entertaining. Hi, Mickey. So you might want to watch this replay, Mickey, if you just jumped in, if you'd like to see my craft room, because I just got done showing everything. And up here are some of the ATCs I pulled to design my craft room. I really like them. It's so cute. I just put that up, so I'm super stoked about it. So anyway, that's me. Real life, transparent. That's who I am. Thanks for joining me, hanging out with me while I showed off my craft room. I really appreciate it. There was something else I was going to tell you guys, and I can't think of what it is now. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't remember what it is now. So I'll write it down, and we'll talk about it tomorrow when we go live to color the remaining two. So we now have this one and this one, and then tomorrow we'll do these two, and then we'll make cards out of them. Sound good? That's what we're going to do then. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for joining me.